Literacy. Many great organizations promote it, but we are the only nation in the world who's falling behind. My generation, graduating from high school, was reading at a higher level than the graduating class this past year in May. So my son's graduating class has fallen behind, and that's frightening. What's even more frightening is to look at our college statistics with regards to education and race. Because you see, black males represent only 2.8% of undergrads on many of our United States college campuses. But on average, black students represent 54% of college football teams and 60% of college basketball teams. Something is amiss. The college system is telling these players that in exchange for their talent, they'll get a priceless educational opportunity, an educational opportunity that they wouldn't receive based on their SATs or GPAs alone. How do you teach college-level classes to someone who cannot read above middle school or 8th grade level? You don't. Our institutions of higher learning are being compromised by big-time sport. The NCAA university contracts are false. These students aren't going to get an education, and unfortunately, there's also a good chance they'll never use their college sport as a stepping stone to something bigger. Our athletes are getting through the system with paper classes and other easy passes. It's a system of academic eligibility. It's not about a real education. How do I know? Because I worked in athletics for 7 years. I was part of the system. I was a learning and reading specialist at UNC Chapel Hill, this country's finest and oldest public university, and a place where athletic eligibility was once more important than learning. Back in 2010, I met with UNC President Bill Friday. He told me how difficult it was to protect our institution from athletic corruption, and how big-time sport in America was more important than a real education.
I believe this whistleblower, Mary Willingham's research. Her research, as you recall, showed that there have been athletes in the revenue sports, that's football and basketball, who are reading at an elementary school level.
Being a whistleblower is not good enough. It doesn't solve the problem. I just brought attention to a problem we already knew and we've known for a long time. So instead, let's work on a solution. Let's go back to where learning begins, or honestly where it stops, and provide measurable online literacy programs for the children who are not successful in the classroom. I call on the coaches, middle school, high school, and the AAU. I call on the athletes themselves, of all ages. I call on the government and the NCAA. I call on you, fellow parents, sports enthusiasts, educators. Together we need to drive home the importance of learning, and particularly literacy. Just like we ask our athletes to drive the ball down the hardwood floors and the 50-yard lines. Change is coming. The government is listening. There's NCAA reform in the way of litigation, legislation, and hope for a president's commission. Football Saturdays, bowl games, March Madness, the Final Four. These events are a culture in itself, as anyone with school spirit will attest to. Let's harness this enthusiasm and bring it to the next generation of athletes across the country. With your support, I will work full-time to develop and deliver an appropriate literacy curriculum virtually to young athletes across the country to help them to prepare for a real education. Donations will be used to purchase the platform and the software and develop the curriculum so that this literacy program can be provided to students across the country at no cost. Let's together get everyone in this country reading by 4th grade and at grade level by 8th grade. This is my rally cry. Please join me.